Dwarven DM here, back again, new video on tabletops and a whole bunch of crap. Tabletops are awesome just because computer games are kind of taking over the market right now, and I mean, you guys probably know that Diablo 3 just came out and everyone's obsessed with that. Now, it's not like I don't enjoy a game of Minecraft every now and again, but it's kind of cool to sit down with your friends and get a little bit creative every now and again. Play some pen and paper tabletop games. That's what we like to call them, and kind of all be together. We can't talk. All be together and kind of get something done. Have some stories to tell. So just talking about tabletops, they're not really losing steam, but what I can see, there's less new players than before, just because all these other games that make it so easy, like computer games when you just throw on the disc and you start playing. You know, tabletops, they take a little bit of effort and they take a lot of creativity. You know, they really do. People that really don't think they can have fun with a piece of paper, but they are mortally wrong. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. You probably see a few things you notice here that you know from your geek life, if you're a geek. Yes, I play Warhammer. I do. And I'm really into the hobby aspect of Warhammer with the painting and everything. Second big thing we play, get these out of the way, is the Dungeons and the Dragons. Now, I collected a few different books that I actually came in contact with a lot of new books lately. Let's see which way. I only have not many. I'll just kind of run you how I started. I started with Dungeons and Dragons. I can't see this at all. Dungeons and Dragons, 4th edition, Player's Handbook. I saw D&D online, and I started thinking, okay, I could be a dragon slayer next to my friends, and we could do whatever we want. So I went out, I saved up for a while to buy this $40 book. It was kind of sad back then. But I really wanted to play this game, and I only had enough money for the Player's Handbook, so I went to Barnes & Noble, and there was a guy there who was looking at the D&D books, and I couldn't figure out what to do, because obviously then I didn't know about all these YouTube channels and all these guys that know what they're doing, and it's really much better to ask a person that you know. So if you want to get into this stuff, ask someone that you know that plays D&D, or get on a forums, or do something, and that's how to start. Because I went into that Barnes & Noble, no idea what I was going to do. Went in, stared at the 3 different books, Player's Handbook, Monster's Manual, Dungeon Master's Guide, that's what it's called, and about 400 other books that had the Dungeons & Dragons TSR label on it. Or Wizards of the Coast, right? TSR was a long time ago. Wizards of the Coast label on it, and I had no idea what to do. So this guy's looking at the books, and I go, okay, what do I buy? I want to start. What do I buy first? And he goes, okay, well, you got to do blah, 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 and he's just kind of talked to me for a while. It was really cool, and that's when I started learning how awesome the Dungeons & Dragons kind of community is. The geek community, I guess, is really that awesome. That he told me what to buy, and finally told me that, like, if I don't already have a group, Player's Handbook is where you start, because you can find a group, and this will kind of go over all the different things. It doesn't have many monsters in there, but you can look them up online. It's a little secret. And it's got a little bit of the Dungeon Master rules in here, just a little bit, a teensy bit, and everything to make characters, players, all that junk. So I said, we'll do it. So I bought it, and I read through it, and I read, and I read, and I drew pictures of all my characters, and I started filling in this giant sheet that obviously you print off online. Don't use this one. I started filling in this thing. The first character I had, I butchered. Then I met some kids from my school that did it, and I didn't know they played D&D, but I met them. And they played D&D, so I started playing. So guys, if you don't play D&D, try it. Find a group. Read the book. They have stories in here. It's like a novel in itself. some cool stuff. So I started with 4E. Just recently, I was at a garage sale. I know, garage sales are your best friend. And I found this. It's the Player's Handbook and Monster Manual for 3.0 edition in some Heroes Builder's Guidebook or something. He goes, it's $5. I was like, take my money. So I bought all 3 of these. And I just opened it up, and just to get that feeling of like amazement again with another edition. I mean, I probably won't play 3.0, but I do want to play 3.5 because I heard it's better than 4E from some of my friends. I don't know. So, I just looking at the pictures in here was just some of the greatest parts, and just opening up another D&D book. So, Heroes Builder, I haven't even looked through this yet. I just got these recently. Another Monsters Manual, which I'm going to use for Monsters in 4E edition. See, you can use these just as reference. If some people are like, oh, it's 3.0 edition, I don't want it. But you can use it for a lot of things. There's monsters in here, there's ideas in here, there's adventures in here. So some cool stuff. Literally last weekend, I was at a garage sale again. This was a barn sale. And so I went upstairs. It's literally a barn. Go upstairs out of this like creepy passage. Finally get upstairs. There's just crap everywhere and all these books and everything. I go, okay, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look for another D&D book. And sure enough, sitting on the table underneath something, D&D, first edition, warped out of, warped beyond belief. And it's not in the greatest condition, as you can see. But again, I opened it up and just went through like you can see how bad condition is, because it literally, you can hear it. Literally, it was in a barn. Like, I'm probably a lot of water damage on here, mold and junk. But first edition, it was just cool to have. So D&D, guys, I got a lot off track there, but it's a cool thing. You should try it out. That's one of the main games I play, just because it's fun, and we make up our own things of D&D. We made up Zombie D20, which is basically a zombie game, like in modern times, that you just kind of play around with. And we use some of the core rules for that. So here's my D&D dice bag. If you don't know, D&D need dice, and many-sided dice like this one, which has 20 sides. This is basically what D&D is based around. So it's some neat stuff, guys. Check it out. I'm not putting those back in. Next thing, real quick, before I hit the cap. 3 different games here. Zombies. I found this one. It's like a kind of an unknown treasure, I guess. I don't know many people who play it, but it's by Twilight Games? Twilight Creations. Basically what it is it's a deck of cards. Oh, there's my really cool dice. They're hiding in here. Deck of cards with all these different kind of things you can do during the game. So you build your own board. Here's the cards. You like lay down this card, then next turn you lay down this card, and then this card. And then eventually you get to this card, which is the helipad, and you have to get to the helipad. But you have to fight through all of these little zombies. It's a really simple game, all based on rolls of a die, of a 6-sided die. And so this is something, if you don't want to go buy all the core rule books and spend hours and hours making characters, go buy something like this, Zombies. Just to have like a Friday night thing you can do with your friends. Next one, My Dwarfs Fly, even simpler. It's a little, all these boxed games are great when you just want to bring it somewhere and start playing. It's 2 different cards, kind of like Magic the Gathering, if you guys know what that is, or Pokemon. You guys know what Pokemon card game is. But it's all in one box. It comes like this. This is like $10. Zombies was like 20. And then the last thing, Magic the Gathering. Guys, it's Pokemon with D&D rules, or with D&D characters, actually. Guys, until next time, wish you the best of the week, and yeah, I'll see you later.